5 objections to training in cyberspace. As a company that specializes in this area, Scatterwork gets a lot of comments about why it can't work, and it makes a lot of sense to listen to what's being said. A lot of them boil down to personal issues, and here are 5 of them. One of them is that the individual has the freedom, the individual participant has the freedom to be engaged or not to be engaged, to come on time or not to come on time. And that's related to self-control. Again, if during a program they get involved in other things because nobody can see them, then clearly the training interaction or the learning interaction is not going to be as effective. The third one is that it can be very impersonal to be on the receiving end of training through cyberspace. Now, that can be very appropriate, for example, for a webinar where there's 1,000 people online. But if you've got a team and they need to learn things, it's not as good that they're just on the receiving end, a bit like a cinema. A fourth objection is the one of responsibility. Again, it's a bit like the freedom. People have the responsibility to learn. That's always true, of course. But in a live training environment, somebody will notice that it's not working very well and they might cajole or pull people in. But in a cyberspace environment, nobody's going to notice. And another objection we get is that it can be very isolating. You're doing your learning, you don't really know who else is involved, and this makes it harder to follow up. So what we do in Scatterwork is we have a few guidelines that help us when we're preparing learning in cyberspace. We make sure the participants get to know each other personally. This can be by, for example, showing each other their Facebook pages, or something where it's more than just, hello, let's start the business. We hold training for teams, not for individuals, because by being part of a team, it makes learning much better, particularly topics that are in any case targeted at teams, things like project management. We build in processes to keep the participants in touch after the training event. It's not adequate just to say, well, you guys can be in touch with each other. You really need to provide some sort of structure for it to happen. And likewise, for programming the time, somebody who's doing a program, they also have to do some private learning. And it doesn't work too well just say, well, you should do some programming of when you're going to learn. It's much better to build that in as part of the program. So if you want to discuss any of these issues with me, then please feel free to connect. I look forward to hearing from you.